Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And just really quick, if you can notice, did a switch with my poster. I got my Godzilla 1998 poster that I had on for a while back though. So I finally I switched it out and put it back up there. And also got the poster for Doctor Strange, Captain America: The Winter Soldier is moved up there. Which I moved the Blob poster, which was over there now. So I make room for Doctor Strange, and I got another poster coming. So that blank space is gonna be filled up. So I'll probably move these up there and put that new one down here below. But just a little poster switch around now. But anyway, at the film at hand. It's also another a revisit movie review because this film came out in 1997, so revisiting for a 20th anniversary movie review. And this one I really do enjoy, and I also believe it's underrated as well. I reviewed this a long time ago, and just it's just a fun film. And that is, for me, revisiting for its 20th anniversary is then the 1997 disaster film, Volcano. Starring Tommy Lee Jones, Don Cheadle, Anne Heche, Gabby Hoffman, and Keith David, and also John Carroll Lynch. And just, revisiting this film, I still thoroughly enjoy this film a lot. And like I said, because also released in 1997, which was Dante's Peak, which I reviewed for his 20th anniversary earlier this year. And I said before, there are two like twin films of the same two films of the same premise, idea, whatever, released in the same year. I still pick Volcano over Dante's Peak, though. Although I like Pierce Brosnan and Linda Hamilton, I think I prefer Tommy Lee Jones and Don Cheadle, because the Volcano to me has much better casting. So like I said, Tommy Lee Jones, Anne Heche, Don Cheadle, Gabby Hoffman, Keith David, John Carroll Lynch. It's just so much fun because I like the idea and the premise of it. A volcano in the middle of Los Angeles. Some people don't like that idea though, and also a while back when I also had the big poster back here as well. It's stored away now, but I still, if you remember, in the earlier years I started doing this, I had a poster up here of Volcano. Although the poster of that film was different than the cover. It says here because the lava explosion is different. So, but still, I'm just a huge fan of this film. I still love this film. Love Tommy Lee Jones. It's easily one of my favorite films with Tommy Lee Jones. Did a fantastic job. And it was directed by Mick Jackson. He directed The Bodyguard with Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston. And let's see where is it? Music by Alan Silvestri, which he's done scores on a lot of films. Like I remember Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and he's also doing the score. He did a score for, I believe, the first Avengers film. And he's working on the scores for the Infinity War films as well. But I enjoy the score, and it's an easily fast-paced film. It's only about doesn't say on here, but it's an easily fast-paced film, and the visual. I love the visual effects in this. There is a good mixture of some practical and with CG as well. I think it was good. Good CG, especially on the lava on the volcano, and some good mixture of good practicals. Of models of buildings, exploding and glass going everywhere, and just a lot of great effects in this film. Good top-notch casting, performances, effects, score. And so the opening especially with Tommy Lee Jones. You know, he's supposed to be on vacation. He works for OAM. You know, like the emergency stuff, and he's fixing breakfast. You know, his daughter played by Gabby Hoffman, and he's like cooking. And he's like, "Kelly, eggs are ready," and he's like, he picks up and almost burning himself, like, and then he drops on the floor, and his dog Max, eat up. Kelly, cornflakes are ready. And it has a good sense of humor in this film, and Tommy Lee Jones, at the times he was pretty funny too. After an earthquake, he goes back into work, and then at I forget what park it is though, like Central Park. I think it was called Central Park, I think. And then there's these workmen. Several workmen got killed and burned. So, and he wants to know. Tommy Lee Jones wants to know what's down there. So he takes a partner with him named Gator. They go down there and they go explore this tunnel that's next to the subway. And he sees a crack in the concrete. Steam's coming out of it, and it's getting very hot. And Gator says, like, look, because he sees some rats that are dead. Like, look at those rats, they're cooked. And then Tommy Lee Jones, his gear starts melting. He's like, damn, Gator, I'm cooked too. Let's get out of here. And Don Cheadle's really trying to talk to him. He's losing them, and as he pulls back out, Tommy Lee Jones is like barely breathing, like because it was that hot down there. Then the next one, it's in the early next morning. There's another major earthquake. Where Anne Heche, because they bring in a geologist played by Anne Heche. They're saying that there might be a possibility of a volcano in Los Angeles, even when Tommy Lee Jones says that a volcano, or was it lava, in L.A. And she takes her partner Rachel back into that tunnel where Tommy Lee Jones was. When the earthquake comes, Rachel, she falls into the ground breaks, and she's holding on, and then it starts getting really hot, and she gets a bunch of steam, and she gets sucked down and dies. Which totally sucks. And when Tommy Lee Jones is on the way, to the place, and talking with Don Cheadle, the steam vents of the sewer lids, they start popping with the steam. And then ash starts falling down, and he notices the La Brea tar pits. They catch on fire and start spewing out molten fireballs. A lot of actual explosions and fires, practical fires as well. And just more fireballs. Going to buildings, more explosions. And then one is where a fireball hits a fire truck, and it sends the fire truck toppling over its side. And as soon as the fire truck gets hit, you notice a firefighter gets flown from the truck. You can see as soon as it gets hit, you see a person flying from the truck. This doctor, I forget her name. I thought the woman who played the female doctor, I thought she did a good job too. I don't think she didn't go on to do much after this, but I liked her. I thought she did a good job too. You know, she's a doctor checking on the injured fireman, and then all of a sudden, when firemen are there, all of a sudden there's this silence. All the steam is gone, and all of a sudden there's this rumbling, and the tar pits, they explode, and then Tommy Lee Jones, I like Tommy Lee Jones' face when the camera zooms in on him. You have this score by Alan Silvestri going. Just when it zooms on Tommy Lee Jones' face, he notices the volcano. And the lava starts flowing out. And Gabby Hoffman, you know, I understand that she was scared. You know, she's just standing there. She doesn't attempt to make a run for it, though. That part I know I think that was a nitpick I said, though, but I can let it slide. Yeah, as I know she's scared, and Tommy Jones goes to her rescue, and there's a fireball that spews like a little bit of the lava on her, but puts it out, like leaves a little bit of burn on her leg. And he's on top of his car, which is melting in the lava, so he has to make a leap for it, and sees his car just melt into the lava. And there's another one that just totally sucks. Where there's a fireman, the driver is still stuck inside the truck that's on his side. So one fireman tries to go and try to save him as the lava's getting closer, and it's like, "Oh, get me out of here! Get me out of here!" And it's too late. Excuse me. Um, the two firemen they just die in the lava, and like this guy who's been talking like on the radio is like, two firemen, they get burned alive. And that just totally sucks. Try to save the firemen, they just both die in the lava. We don't see it though, but they were in the fire truck where they died, so that just totally sucks. And this is why I like it. This is something that something on sci-fi would just, what did you do? You make a big budget film like this, and then probably their films would probably be better instead of these low budget horrible CG effects, especially with lame CG deaths. It just makes those films not unwatch. Makes those films so unbearable and unwatchable, especially when it comes to their shitty creature feature films, like with the shark films and the other monster films. But if they made make a film like this, would they give it a little bit more of a bigger? I'm not saying $100 million budget, but something else, just a little more, put more effort into it to make it something that looks good. This is what it should be on sci-fi. With this, a couple of A-list actors, not a whole entire cast, but a couple with decent effects. I mean, once in a while there is one that has some decent effects, though, but once in a blue moon. But so the doctor takes his daughter, and there's shows where it's lava's going to this neighborhood, and once going to this house, and there's this dog. Matt manages to escape the house. He even takes his little toy bone with him. That was kind of funny. Okay, the dog takes his toy bone and gets out of the house before when the rest of it catches on fire. But a lot of the effects of lava looks good. Well done, I would say, and a lot of real fires. Some CG fires though, but for the most part, it looks a lot of real flames and stuff. And Hayes gets there, and Tommy Lee Jones has an idea to push this bus on his side to divert the flow from going into the buildings. And they see a guy lying on the ground. They try to drag him to one of the palm trees on fire, falls down, blocking their way. And good scene where they get one of the firefighters get the long fire ladders. They hang on as they're hanging on below the lava as it's below them. And he's like, my feet are burning. And plus the hose on top of the ladder is burning because it's within the flames. But they manage to get they're alright. And even when the ladder breaks, they're still safe away from the lava. And then when you get to a little bit where there's this one guy who's like, a guy who's like from the hood neighborhood. His neighbor's on fire, so he's trying to ask for some firefighters to get some people to help to put out the fires in their neighborhood. And there's this one cop that was like harassing them from earlier in the beginning of the film. Puts him in handcuffs. He thinks he was harassing a firefighter. And he's like, oh, he's kind of a bit of a douchebag, this guy, but until like later. And this is also where Keith David comes in. Keith David doesn't come until mostly halfway into the movie, though. But it's nice to see Keith David because I like him as an actor, and it was just nice to see him there, especially working with Tommy Lee Jones. And he was still good too because I like Keith David. And also, this is where you get the scene in the subway tunnel where John Carroll Lynch, he's like the head of the subways, and they see them as it looks like it's kind of on fire, and the passengers, they all passed out because it was due to stifling heat. They just passed out, so they get him out, and until he sees the lava underneath going under the car, it's just like, get off the train, every one of these bodies off the train now. Until he knows the driver's gone, and so he goes back further to get the driver, which is played by Valentine Rodriguez, who who plays Ernie from George Lopez. So he's carrying the driver, and good effects where as he's slowly walking, the floor beneath him is melting. Either the floor is melting or the shoes. This is a good effects where he's just walking through and the floor is just melting from underneath him. He's forever each step he's taken, and he's praying, Holy Mary, Mother of God, bless us sinners for now the hour of our death, and until he comes to the end of the car where the people are telling him to jump, and this this is without a doubt. There's not in too many films where you see a person literally die in the lava. And for all I know, this is probably like the best death for any film that shows volcanoes, person actually dying in lava. So, John Carroll Lynch, his name is Stan. He makes a jump for it, but it's too far away. He steps into the lava, sacrifices his life to save the driver. You can see him melting in the lava, and that just lets us. It's like a creepy death, but also it's sad as well. I just felt sorry for the guy. So, but he sacrificed his life to save the one guy, the driver. Until Tommy Lee Jones has a plan to use these concrete barriers to form a horseshoe for him to go into the intersection of Wilshire from going to the other directions. So he wants them to block this lava into the horseshoe till they get all these water helicopters to drop all the water on to harden it to make a crust. And they think they gotta stop, but Anne Heche calls that there's a much bigger problem. And they get open this one part of the where another part of the tunnel, and this is how they're gonna get down there. So they drop a camera down to see where anything is, and all of a sudden there's lava. Destroy the camera, goes through these tunnels. I like where Tommy Lee Jones, he puts his hand over the opening where the tunnel is, and it's just too hot. He's like, hot, because it's that hot. So, and it confirms that it's gonna until it hits a dead end of the tunnel, it's gonna erupt. So, and in Don Cheadle, you see him. He helped get advice with Tommy Lee Jones, but I still think that Don Cheadle, he did a good job, because I like Don Cheadle too. And so now they get an idea where Tommy Lee Jones is, where the dead end is at. It's where Beverly Center is, where Tommy Lee Jones, he sent all the patients, the injured people, to Beverly Center, like where the Hard Rock Cafe is. Where that's the end of the tunnel, where that's where it's going to erupt. So he has a plan to make a trench, an extended trench, to go right into this one trench, which will lead to the ocean. But they fear there's a flaw in their plan, and they think there's nothing else they can do. Then he comes up with an idea about making a dam, where he can just drop a building against the mall and divert the flow to the trenches. And in the building he's referring to, there was it's a building where the doctor, her husband, was on building, and the guy was acting also a bit of a douchebag. It's like, telling the doctor, come home, let these people do their work, let them take over. I mean, come on, she's a doctor, she's trying to save lives, for crying out loud, and you're just being a douchebag and selfish that your woman does let his woman try to save lives. Yeah. So they put this. They try to set charges into the building and to the ground, and then the place starts. The ground starts shaking. The lava erupts. While Anne Heche is looking for his daughter, and the daughter, Gabby Hoffman, Kelly is her name. She's at the restaurant. Well, she knows that one of the little boys is Wonder Ross, so she goes looking for him. And then when they start detonating the charges, Tommy Lee Jones sees the kid, and then his daughter's there, but no one is too loud to hear, so they keep on sending the charges. And while in that building, one of the police officers, including the guy Gator, the guy gets stuck with something that's pinned to his leg, and he doesn't want to leave him. They gives him the all clear, so they both die from the explosion. And as the building starts going down, Tommy Lee Jones starts running. Now it seems like now I can do it's a wonky effect where you see Tommy Lee Jones running. The background is clearly a green screen. Well, for the most part, there's this one instance where he's running. You see clearly a green screen right behind him. But and even to the part where he grabs the daughter and the kid, it's a clearly green screen, of course. But then the building falls down into first to flow into the trench. And then everyone is searching for him in the rubble, and he pops up, and then the lava hits the ocean. The ocean just washes it all away, and then it starts to rain. Well, before that, when Keith David he has the kid, and I thought it was kind of a little sweet thing what the kid says, because everybody's covered in ash and dust and stuff, and he's like, "Do you know who your mama is? What does your mama look like?" And he's like, "Well, look at their faces. They all look the same because they're all covered in dust and gray." Keith Davis looking. I thought it was kind of a little funny thing what the kid says. You know, a little sweet thing. And then it starts to rain. And then Don Cheadle comes with their dog, and he's saying, it's just another day at the office. And he gets the call from the chief of police, which he calls Don Cheadle a couple of times in the film. And it says he tells it. Tommy Lee Jones says, "My man, you handle it. I'm on vacation, going home with my daughter." And Don Cheadle's like, "I can get used to this, Mike." And Tommy Lee Jones is asking his daughter, like, "Well, you always want to go to Beverly Center. How'd you like it?" "It was cool, Dad." And then the film ends with a song by Randy Newman, "I Love L.A." shows the volcano named Mount Wilshire and status as spelling out active. And Randy Newman's "I Love L.A." Another perfect day. I love L.A. We love it. Which that song I also heard in The Naked Gun when Leslie Nielsen was doing the baseball scene. Yeah, that song was playing. That was a good song by Randy Newman. I liked it when it was playing at the end of this film. Because, hey, it's in Los Angeles. Of course you have the song that's about L.A., I love L.A. We love it. So, yeah, I love this film. It's definitely worth reviewing. Definitely worth deserving for its 20th anniversary movie review. The release date was April 25th when it came out. I wanted to review. I was setting to review on that day, but I forgot about it, so I'll have to do it a few days after the day. So, but oh well. Definitely worth the 20th anniversary movie review. Time says it best. You'll have a hell of a time. Yeah, hell of a time. Hell lava. Yeah, people probably are not particularly fond of that pun though. But on the back, but WWOR TV. This is the Volcano movie to see. And bottom here by a preview channel. Take the ride. Volcano has it all. So yeah, and sadly though there's no features film, just the trailer. But yeah, great cast: Tommy Lee Jones, Anne Heche, Don Cheadle. I have Gabby Hoffman who played the daughter. I thought she still was good as well. And Keith David as well. John Carroll Lynch. Not to be able to mention this guy's name. He's worth mentioning because usually he has supporting roles and usually small parts. But I thought his death was most gruesome. Creepy because I don't think there's never a volcano movie where you actually see somebody die and melt in the lava really enough. And I think it's pretty much the best lava death you can see on a film. I mean, there wasn't any in Dante's Peak. There was the 80s, the 1980 disaster film with Paul Newman, When Time Ran Out, when the volcano erupted. With that bridge scene, you see a girl fall the bridge, and they see a wide shot just falling straight towards the lava. And then sadly, Pat Morita was the next victim when he falls off the bridge. You see him straight into the lava. You don't actually physically see that though. Well, you see them fall straight down into the lava though, but see them make contact with the lava. This one, where John Carroll Lynch's Stan, you see him, he's making a jump for it. He steps really into the lava, and he saves the train driver's life and sacrifices his own life. It's a creepy death. You see him, oh, and. But it was also very sad as well, because, I felt sorry for the guy. There was, he knew that he wasn't going to make it, so he tries to make a big leap and save the guy's life at the cost of his own. I thought that was, one of the best sacrifices in a film, to be honest. I mean, and the film was nominated for a Razzie for the worst destruction of property and human life. I thought that was kind of bold. I mean, I thought that the thing that Con Air, which I will gonna do a 20th anniversary movie review though, was not only for the same thing, but great cast, great score, awesome effects, very fast paced. People don't like the idea of a volcano in the middle of Los Angeles. I mean, come on. That's why some people prefer Dante's Peak more. I see it as the other way around. I like Dante's Peak, though, but I just prefer this one, where I got much more fun, much more enjoyment, much more from effects, cast, music, all that stuff. And that's how I like the story and the writing by Jerome Armstrong did the screenplay as well as the story, along with Billy Ray, which that guy has done some scripts, writing on some other films I know of, but and the directing by Mick Jackson too. Yeah, so this is definitely worth deserving for a 20th anniversary movie review. And you can also just check back on my older review of the film as well, if you want to. But I'm just going right through this because I've already reviewed this film before, so. But yeah, this is my 20th anniversary movie review of Volcano. The coast is toast. That's another line, the tagline for the film I like. Yeah, which is right there. But yeah, definitely worth it. 2 thumbs up. Puts a big smile on my face. Definitely also a film that I just loved growing up as well. A disaster film that I also one of my favorites as well. So if you would like me revisiting Volcano for its 20th anniversary, definitely worth it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.